Hello, good afternoon. It's High Priestess Jamila. So I meant to go live from the Witch's Broom channel too. I didn't mean to just put this one up on this channel. My bad. Oh God. Okay. Listen. You cannot expect to be looked at as innocent when um you don't just attack people once. You don't just attack people twice. But if you attack an entire family for over 10 years, come on now. You can't you can't like say anything like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. Hello, hey sissy. Hi. Yeah, I wanted to talk about how people. And you know what? It's not just us witches, though. It's a lot of people. It's not even people that identify themselves as witches. It, but for some reason, religious people are a problem. They are. And I am very anti Bible and I am very anti religion. And I'm not going to change because basically the way they feel is that if they make some kind of deal with that demon of the Bible, that it gives them leeway to invade. And a lot of the so called protections and stuff that are in the Bible, it does not apply to certain people. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, it doesn't apply, not even to half of them. It don't even apply to them. You know what I mean? So, but it makes no sense. Here's the thing about it. If you are a witch and you are practicing your your spirituality, and you are not invading on anybody. And see, this is the thing. I think that they get paranoid. And I think the reason why they get paranoid is because they know what they do, which is invade on people and their spiritual spaces, right? So when I say spiritual spaces, I mean your earth, your reality. They think that they have the right to invade like aliens almost. It's very alien-esque the way they feel that they can, just come into your personal spiritual spaces. And with a lot of them, um, they are astral traveling and astral projecting, just like a witch can do. But and it's not just the witches. They're doing that to regular folk, right? They're doing that to regular folk. You don't have to be a witch for them to do that. And that's the problem. That's what creates the need or the desire for somebody to consult with a witch. Because, you can be a person that goes to church every Sunday, reads the Bible, and do the best that you can, but you still get no justice or no peace because there's like several people types, several groups, um, children, women, gay people. Um, Pretty sure there's a lot more too. A lot more. Brown people are essentially targeted in the Bible. And how can we really say that we have abolished all of this stuff when we still have the church and the state combined together? You know what I mean? And I think that in the future that is going to be addressed, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it was a necessity for me to it was a necessity, and it was also fate. It was like, you know what I mean, for me to turn to Satan. I had no choice, because when I was practicing with, well, Kali Ma, a lot of people consider Kali Ma to be a demon. Okay. um you know but I started out my practice. I started out connected with Kali Ma, Hecate, and I had no choice. I had no choice but to go there. Initially I was doing these healings and cleansings for people. Um, you know, and the more and the more and the more, and I don't understand. Oh goodness, it's 10 years, and yeah, I am dealing with, guys, I am on a mission at this point. Um Honestly, y'all are gonna hear me not talk about, I'm not going to be talking about specific people on this website. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. No more. No more. I am no longer giving people a name, and I am no longer giving people over to these people. I'm not, but I am going to talk a lot about Jehovah Witnessing. Jehovah Witnesses are extremely toxic people, extremely malevolent, extremely. I would say more so than Catholics, Christians, and what's the other one? The Islam, Muslim. In fact, I get along with Muslims very well. And you know what? There's sometimes I think Allah, I think he's one of my people. You know what I'm saying? One of my, I think that he's sort of like that. Uh, he's a part of my spirit team, but I just don't work with him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jehovah's Witnessing is absolutely deplorable. It is. And this is no dig. If you are a Jehovah's Witness, please don't get insulted by this. You need to go and research the religion that you joined, right? Now they use the Bible. They are using biblical spirits and energies and vibrations, a man with a Bible, okay, a woman with a Bible, eh? But a man with a Bible, he's feeling that deeply, because this gives him the delusion that he has some kind of dominion. But in reality, and they know that, and so what they began to do was they actually began to mimic us a lot, to the point where they were so focused, and a lot of the witchy community was not prepared for it. We weren't, because if you sit and you obsess and obsess and obsess over someone, you're almost pulling that person's spirit. So whereas, you know previously they may have been harmless, and there was no harm, no foul, because do I believe that they have the right to do that? No, I don't. I don't. And I know they don't. Okay. But they do it anyway. Okay. And so what needs to happen, what essentially had to happen was die hard protection, liberation from their gods. And that's all of them. Jehovah's Witnesses are very dangerous because they stalk people. Jehovah's Witnesses stalk people. And I don't know what they be telling them people or what be going on or what they be on, but they are literally some of the worst predators. Like, I don't even really have no problem with the Christian church or whatever. Even though there are some Christians that get overzealous, Jehovah's Witnesses stalk almost to the point where they are constantly present. And that is what is wrong. That is where the invasion comes in. I have never in my life, okay, let me take that back. Of course I utilize astral travel. Of course. Of course, right? It's a requirement for some of the workings. Okay. However, it's only to people that have violated and trespassed on me. That's it. I don't just astral travel and start graping somebody and messing with them randomly. No, I don't. And I think that when you're very level headed and as a hold on, y'all, hold on. Testing, testing. Okay, y'all should be able to hear me. When you're very level headed like what I am, you do what's necessary. And I think that you have the best results. The biggest mistake that you can make as a witch, even, or you may not even identify as a witch, you may just practice, is religious abuse. I'm sorry, spiritual abuse. You can't just say, hey, random, random, random. I just feel like spiritually abusing people. And it turns into, wow, what are we going to do about this? You know what I'm saying? And spirit is always upgrading and increasing, and you know what I'm saying? So I think that that's important to do that because witches deserve love and respect too. And so, if you want to live in the reality where you've got these crucifixes all over the place and you pray every Sunday and you go to church, that's your right. That's your reality that you live in. You don't, and this is what I hate about them trying to convert people. That is an invasion of alien proportion. That is called close encounters of a fourth or fifth time a kind. That's not right for you to do that. And I don't care what they say. Stop trying to convert people. Stop putting up propaganda. Stop blaming the witches for everything. I looked at this thing this morning, y'all. I was busy this morning while I was listening to it, and I ended up not listening to the rest of it because it was propaganda against witchcraft. Sorry about that. But this man was having an experience, a spiritual experience, from what I gather of it. I didn't like it because here's what they did. It's called exorcism tales or whatever. Don't look at it if you're a witch, because they're basically reciting death curses over witches in the goddamn video. Like, that is so fucking rude. Don't recite. Don't do that. Like, just stop it. Most channels know not to do that. You know, the never suffer a blank, blank, blank to live. Yeah. Oh, God. And they weren't saying it and making it obvious, but it was done very covertly, right? So anyway, um, this man was blaming seeing visions of a ghost on witchcraft. Uh, Here's what religious people need to realize. Regardless to your chosen religion, spirit and spirits and entities and ghosts exist. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't exist just because of witchcraft. It's going to exist anyway. Converting witches to religion, or either killing witches and murdering witches, is not going to make spirits go away. It's not going to do it. Those spirits are still going to be there. And they don't want to listen. It's very bizarre. I don't mind people. I don't mind religious people, but like, and it's very covert. The attacks, especially the attack that I've had the past 10 years from Jehovah's Witnesses, they are very covert with it. It's a very covert operation to where we're going to make it about your hair or your tatas or just random stuff that they say. But it's really about the fact that you're a witch and you won't bow down to their God and to them. So, that's just obvious. It should be obvious to a lot of other people. I'm sure it is. At this point, it's not about, I mean, when it first started, there was a smear campaign. Still is. Still is. They do those things covertly. And I believe that God or goddess protects us from them. Witches are protected. Yes, we are. And you know what? They try us and they try us, and they want us to not have faith in what we are, but spirit always has a plan. Spirit always has a remedy for it. Always. And I can promise you that. I was attacked, death threats, for years when I came out the broom closet, not just by people on YouTube, but they do things on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They discriminate. They discriminate against women all the time. Women constantly get discriminated against. Constantly. You don't even have to be a witch. Women, just being a woman causes discrimination. So and sexism, it's still a thing. And the reason why I say a thing is because sexism, racism, nepotism, um, you know, unlike the Jehovah Witness Church, pedophiles getting away with molesting children, women being murdered, children being murdered, sold. Okay, slavery is still very much alive. Those things are not welcome in my reality. They're not. And I told them that. So it's kind of messed up because, they'll say, oh, well, witchcraft is wrong because we know that y'all violate people's free will, but your free will, while you have came to us, you have placed yourself in our path at some point. You presented yourself to us purposely and then began to attack us and do all sorts of things to try to harm us. And then you want to talk about free will? You didn't give us our free will. Why are we being denied our free will? Make it make sense. So, in retrospect, you don't deserve your free will. And it's just sorry, guys, I'm kind of sleepy. And it's wrong. It's wrong as hell, and you know it. Especially when it comes to necromancy. Oh my goddess. Mm-mm-mm. I can't even. We not even really allowed to talk about necromancy, and we're not talking about just murdering somebody with magic. No, I'm not talking about that. But it's just there's so much. So it just all because you want to feel entitled to invade in our spiritual space. That's not hurting you. I'm in my space and you're in yours, right? That's the way it should be. Wrong. That's not the way they look at it. Especially when you're dealing with a male and the counterpart is female. He feels that he has dominion over this woman. And that's an illusion because you don't. So it just, I don't know. For me, I have a zero tolerance policy at this point. Zero tolerance. I will never. And I think that a lot of us witches were presented with an idea, and of course, a lot of us were adventurous, but It's like, no, I changed my mind about this adventure, which is to let a man, to give your power to a man. They make sex feel unnatural. That's why there's a lot of women walking around here celibate, been celibate for 20 or 30 years, and they will not let a man come into their body because of the violation. You know what I mean? I'd rather be happy, stable, healthy, find my little spot on this earth and live, on the land. And they want to try to deny you of that. You know what I mean? So if they want to punish you. So I just, my heart goes out to you witches that are going through that, because, you know, this is really sad. And I definitely don't think witches should be fighting with each other. We should be sticking together. That doesn't make any sense. And they didn't want me to have a coven at all. So it just, I don't know. Having a coven is about support, camaraderie, love, happiness, celebration. It's not just about power. It is a combination of powers, but any solitary witch can invoke spirits to stand in as a coven. You can invoke as many goddesses as you want. They're going to hear you, they're going to help you. So it just adds to the unnecessary war, unnecessary. Just I don't understand it. Sometimes I wish that. Hmm, that's actually not a bad idea. I wish that all of them would just be replaced with other spirits, because they're not happy. They're suffering. They're confused. We need a mass replacement. So all these people, that are confused, that are just causing all this suffering to people. All those people just need to have their bodies possessed and taken over. You know what I mean? And they'll probably be happier. Probably heal them too. Their afflictions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know? Mm. And it even says in their Bible, do not seek out a witch, do not commune with them. But yet, I mean, for them to do what they're doing, they have to still be seeking us out. So the whole witch hunting thing, to me, has always proven to be a huge freaking mistake. Because now you got all these disembodied spirits of these witches that were murdered that are still floating around here everywhere. They're everywhere. That's why I need to go visit Salem. I sure would visit the cemetery in Salem. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? They probably didn't even put no tombstones on it. But Bathsheba, I don't think she was in Salem. Bathsheba, it's a lot of famous witches, like, for example, Marie Laveau. She one of them. You know what I'm saying? That, it just, I don't, all I know is that your average witch is not sneaky conniving, sitting around trying to do harm to people because somebody called them a poopy face. I'm not going to curse somebody for calling me ugly. Hell no. Lying on me, bearing false witness, yeah. But calling me ugly or fat or stupid, you know, not just going to go around cursing people right at that second. Now, if they do it over a course of years and years and years, to where, they're literally trying to turn me into something that I'm not, then I'm gonna start getting suspicious. Like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Uh, so a lot of us are much more level headed than that. We're not just, and then we don't stalk people. Witches do not stalk people. That's a damn lie. Not a level headed ethical witch. And yes, there is a such thing as an ethical witch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we exist. And I think that a lot of us have such a deep purpose of, you know, healing and helping people. You know what I mean? And they don't want to give us that. That's just like, y'all know that show Supernatural. How many of y'all like that show Supernatural with the Winchester brothers? Everybody, I know I love that show. I still love that show. Them somebody purposely interrupted my live by calling me. Please don't call back, or I'm gonna have to like get angry. It ain't nobody important, y'all. Well, okay, so the Winchester brothers, they went around, traveled around, literally like nomads, and they just investigated spiritual, supernatural cases and stuff. It's the same thing with women, with witches. They basically, the Sam and Dean were male witches. But when a woman does it, it's a problem. Okay. When a woman does it, oh, we got to not trust her. And then if you go by what you see in social media, this is the reason why I come at y'all like this, because, I'm, it's like I said, I'm not a YouTube vlogger. I'm not a content creator. I'm a witch. Okay. And what I want to make sure of is that people understand that your problem or issue that you're having that even has you curious about witches, that was there long before I don't even know you. That's been there. Ain't my fault. And so I just want to be respected and to not be shunned and shamed for who I am. It's not right. You know what I mean? And honestly, to be shunning, shaming, and injustices are not welcome. And it's just not going to be tolerated, because that's exactly what happens. People that feel like they are in a position of power over you, they want to try to stick it to you because they have some kind of problem with you. And that just, it shouldn't be different. We shouldn't be denied our rights because we're witches. And then miss trying to totally deny us our identity. Oh, you're not a witch. If I said I'm a witch, I'm a witch. Okay. Why would I say that such a stigmatizing term if it weren't the truth? Why would I purposely stigmatize myself? And I think that pride and love, self-love as a witch is just as important as, gay pride or black pride or white pride. You know what I mean? So it just, I just, I think that the war on witches is also about the war on women, because there's currently a war on women. That is a fact. Look around. There's a war on women. It's never stopped. It's gotten worse. Anyway, you guys, I'm not down for the war on women. Yeah, there's some women who ain't right. They ain't right with the stuff that they do. But I'm not gonna participate in a war on women specifically. Just we must beat down this woman. I think it's extreme low self esteem and depression personally, because a woman brought you into this world with it. So you hate the woman because she brought you into this world. Make this make sense, So anyway, I'm going on vacation, y'all, for a little while, but I'm still gonna be working. So it's not a vacation, but it's still going to. Oh man, it's gonna be a release, and it's gonna be nice. So and I'm just watching and paying a lot of attention. The crazy part about it is that the people that are watching me under a lens or like a tight scope, they're watching me, but what they need to be doing is watching their back. So that's the issue with them. Like, you're so focused on witches that you're not even seeing that spirit that's following you. You're not looking at the shadow being that's following you. And that's not there because of the witches. You was born with that. So while you paying so much attention to us, you not watching your backbone. And I think that's a lesson that a lot of especially the religious and spiritual stalkers and the ones that commit the atrocities and harassment and, discrimination, you don't even realize that you should have been listening to us. And then they'll go and they'll say, well, I'll just get some sage or some palo, and I have the right to use sage and palo because I think sage is mentioned in the Bible or something. I'd have to, don't quote me on that though, because I think I ran into a couple of videos of Christians just in my homepage where Christians were saying sage is evil. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? So, like, okay, you're gonna use sage to get rid of that spirit, but yet you're judging witches. So at that moment, that you're saging, you're practicing witchcraft at that moment. Was your prayers not enough? That's a valid question. So they want to utilize our knowledge but then discredit us and try to disenfranchise us. That don't make no sense. That's not fair. What you think my aunt gonna have to say about that? You know what I mean? So that's kind of crazy to me. That's kind of like a no-brainer, you know what I'm saying? So, and there are some people that are members of churches and they're Christian and they're Baptist and they use sage, but those people are not harassing and stalking and trying to place judgment on witches. They're not. There's a lot of good Christians out there now. I will be honest with y'all. I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all. Some of y'all came from a witchy bloodline and you'll come to get work done because you have absolutely no idea about witchcraft, but you got it in your blood. You just have been disconnected from that knowledge. And so what y'all will do while getting work done from a witch is y'all will go and read the Bible and cancel out your manifestations a lot of the times. And it seems to have gotten, from what I've observed from some religious people, not all of you, some of you guys are very well rounded and grounded, had a great upbringing, wasn't no crazy stuff going on. But we've got to pay attention to these ones out here that are committing hate crimes. I can honestly say that I have been the victim of a hate crime for well over 10 years. You know what I mean? Because I'm a witch. So, you know, anyway, let me get off of here, y'all, because I got to get wine. I have to make offerings. So I will see you guys later. I have work to do and I need to get a little bit of rest as well. I'm going to try to get some R&R to not think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that, God is always going to make it right. That's all I know. Is that it's ever, it's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, y'all have a good one. Hit that thumbs up, please. It helps with the algorithm. Um, and then it also encourages me to speak about the things that I'm interested in speaking about and not things that I'm not interested in speaking about at all. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I would like to get away from those things. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm getting some Malbec. I'm gonna either get Malbec or Cabernet. I'm gonna see if they have blood oranges at the store. I don't know if they're in season right now. If they have some, I'm gonna grab some. So yeah. And this new moon is sneaking up on us real fast too. So anywho, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta get some rest and that's what spirit wants me to say is that let's keep it real. The reason why they do a lot of the stuff that they're doing is because of competition. But y'all gotta throw the competition away Because when it comes to spirit and the occult, competition has nothing to do with it. It doesn't, especially when you get deep into necromancy and witchcraft and sorcery. You know? Now you don't want to drink nothing with no heartburn. You got heartburn, sis? Mm. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go. I'm done with my soapbox today. It's not that I'm complaining or crying about it. It's just that, my goodness, 2024. Goodness gracious. Because none of us witches are going to change. We're not. We're not going to ever change. No matter what you do to scare us, no matter how many times you threaten to murder us, we're not going to change. I remember being, I've had more lifetimes than this one. And I remember going into the flame, burning, burning, willingly burning, skin bubbling, burning, sloughing off, skin falling. I remember going into the fire proudly, not relenting. Is that what people really want? You must have a hate problem, you know? But as long as they don't try to cross over, I've been doing some stuff, y'all, to keep folk out my astral space. You know what I mean? Just stay out of my astral. Don't try to come to me, or please don't. That's all I ask of people. Don't try to invade, or don't try to pull me in to your agenda. I don't like that. It's been a lot of that happening. People with agendas trying to pull somebody in to that agenda. I'm going to recognize that. I can sniff it out like a dog. You know what I mean? You don't have the right to take hostages and hijack people. You know what I mean? And I think it's silly. People that are trying to convert people. I think that that's a huge mistake, because you don't have the right to try to take somebody off their path. And that's what they're trying to do via manipulation and prayer. And for what? For what? We don't see nothing but danger. And it is danger. It's very dangerous, because there's no love there. It ain't nothing but hate. And it always is. No matter how much you think you're going to be nice, you're going to try to bow down and give people what they want, those people still hate you. That is fake love. That is not real. So I would rather be on my path where there's real love, even if it's not from another person outside of my family. Of course, my babies love me. Okay. But as long as I love myself and I'm being true to myself, you know what I mean? I don't hear very many people talking like me, though. Everything on YouTube is so melodramatic, made for TV, except for a couple of the occultists that I watch on here, of course. But there's a lot of people on here that are just very, very commercial. Very commercial. What I mean by that is, there's nothing wrong with speaking cryptically about what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I mean by commercial is it's not really about the real. There's a lot of people that, they don't, they think discussing their issues and problems and experiences is a problem, and they think, oh, they see somebody like me that's going through that struggle, and they think, oh, you must not be all that powerful. It's like, yeah, but I'm in my zone and you're in yours. And so people's behavior on the outside of you have nothing to do with you. So, and the planets keep twirling, and that's just it. Nobody should be judged based upon what people on the internet are doing or saying about them. Nobody. People on the internet are in a whole other world. They're on especially if they're not physically in that space, and you can even still be physically in a person's space, but you're not there spiritually. So I don't know, like, and it's very upsetting to my spirit when people, it's not about actual witchcraft or the occult. They're just stuck on their agendas, you know, agenda. And the agenda at hand is not jiving with what is just and what is right, or even based upon any kind of truth, because that's artificial. I can't really get into that though, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to grasp that. So, you know, the messes get created, man. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see y'all like way later, like probably tomorrow, because I have a lot to do today. So I don't know. Who knows? I may pop in here or either upload a video, but y'all have a good one. Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye bye.